Hey y'all, Dennis here, Muddy Water Search and Recovery. And I've been saying for a little bit now, we had some new cases I wanted to come out and do the case layouts on. I do have 7 cases to go over with you guys today. Some of these we still don't have a whole lot of information on. Some of these we do have quite a bit. So we'll be sharing that out with you. If you have any suggestions as far as locations that need to be searched, any theories, any information on these cases, our email, phone number, and our PO box will be down in the video description, and we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But guys, let's just go ahead and jump straight on into these cases. First, we have trying to pull it up here. There we go. First, we have Hayden Willett, 16 years old. Hayden and his dad were recently at Club for Fitness on Western Avenue. Hayden left the gym and has not been seen since. He is a student at West High School. He might be staying with friends whose parents do not realize that he is actually missing. He is often spotted around the flats at Pond Gap and London Town apartments. He is missing from the East Tennessee Valley, and I don't have a date on here of when he went missing. He's 5'4", 135 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. And as we get more information on this case, we will get that out to you guys. We do know that he did leave his cell phone behind. His dad, a single dad who is working with law enforcement trying to find his son. And here's the date. He went missing September 13th of 2023. So guys, let's do everything we can to help bring Hayden home. The next case, and Alex brought this one to our attention. This is Robert Bryant. His last date of contact was September 11th of 2023. Robert is 60 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'4", 172 pounds, and he is missing from Platte City, Missouri. I did read where somebody had posted that he actually was last seen in Weston, Missouri. We have not been able to confirm that as of yet. We do have some locations already in mind that we want to go out and search. But guys, if you have any information on this case, please reach out to us and we will update you as we get more information on that case. And going back to Robert Bryant, there is also a chance that he is in his vehicle. And as soon as I have the vehicle information, I will get that out to you guys as well. So next we have David Michael Bowers Jr. He is missing since September 14th of 2021. He's missing from Afton, Missouri. The classification is endangered missing. He was 18 years old when he went missing, 5'10", 128 pounds. He was wearing a black and white hooded sweatshirt, jeans, and white sneakers. And again, brown hair, brown eyes. His hair was styled in dreadlocks at the time of his disappearance with blonde and green tints to it. He has several tattoos, including an eye on his right hand between the thumb and index finger, and the cartoon character of Bart Simpson and a flower on his forearm. He has multiple scars on his arms. He was last seen in Afton, Missouri, September 14th of 2021. That day, he and 3 other people stopped at a house in Afton, then visited the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. They were on their way back to Afton when their car ran out of gas at a Family Dollar store. In the early morning hours of September 14th, the police approached the group's vehicle and Bowers allegedly ran away from them. The other 3 were questioned, and one of them left to find Bowers. The members of the group stated they searched for 2 days, but they never found him. He didn't show up at a September 15th court date and has never been seen or heard from since. One of the men last seen Bowers was Nathaniel Simmerly, a registered sex offender who claimed to be his half-brother. Bowers' family stated they did not know Simmerly. He has not been named as a suspect in this case. That is important to point out here. But, it's concerning that, he's claiming to be his half-brother, which means that they're close, but the family did not actually know this guy. The circumstances of his disappearance are unclear. He is actually from Eldon, Missouri, and many agencies give the date of his disappearance as September 12th of 2023. So, guys, kind of a complex situation here, running around a bunch of circles, etc. So, we will continue digging into this as we can get information confirmed and get that out to you guys. We will. But, guys, let's do everything we can to help bring David home. Next, we have Andrea Reveles, and forgive me if I mispronounced that name. I'm not real good with names. She is missing from Topeka, Kansas since May 1st of 2022. She was 13 years old when she went missing. 5'2", 120 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. They do have this classified as a missing, endangered runaway. I hate that classification. I feel that completely changes the course of the investigation, but that is what it is classified, missing, endangered runaway. So, running through the notes real quick, there's not a whole lot on here. Kansas Missing and Unsolved shared a flyer on her case on Facebook. This is where I first actually come across this case. This isn't one that somebody reached out to us like 90+% of our cases. I seen this one and we decided to see what we could do to help. The photo that they have and then the photo on the National Missing and Exploited Children's website, I honestly thought was 2 separate people. It took a little bit of studying on this to realize it is the same girl, but she's been missing again since May 1st, 2022 from Topeka, Kansas, 13 years old. As we get more information on this, we will try to get that out to you guys, but we really need to get this child brought back home. So let's do everything we can to do just that. Next, we have Jesse Herbst, missing from La Crosse, Kansas. He's been missing since June 16, 2023. He was 19 years old when he went missing. 5'9", 160 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen in a Casey's convenience store in La Crosse, Kansas. He is autistic and may not speak loudly or he may mumble. He may be a danger to himself. He was last known to be driving a black 2005 Dodge Dakota with red on the top of the fenders. Again, he's 19 years old, 5'9", weighs 160 pounds. He was last known to be wearing a black hoodie, blue shorts, and red and black shoes. So, guys, let's do everything we can to help bring Jesse home. It does state he may be a danger to himself. Then, anytime that there is, like, he is autistic, anytime you are faced with that as well, it really ups the stakes there. So let's continue to do everything we can to bring him home. This case, Chad Smith, Danny Higgins, Jay Boyle, Jamie, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name, Michael Cummings, and Robbie Rumbold. This one, I did get an email asking us to look into this, and then I've had a couple other people reach out to us. I'm going to read you a news article on this one. It says, another year has gone by since 6 teenage boys went missing in Pickering, and still there is no closure for the families. The Ottawa-based private investigator working the case, Bruce Ricketts, still has no plans to close the file. Jay Boyle, Michael Cummings, Danny Higgins, Chad Smith, Robbie Rumbold, and Jamie, and again, the last name, vanished in Pickering 27 years ago. That's a long time for anything, let alone a mystery like this one, says Ricketts, who's working the case on a volunteer basis. The 6 friends are believed to have stolen a boat and a water tricycle and taken an ill-fated ride in the frigid waters of Lake Ontario in the early hours of March 17th of 1995 after a night of partying in Pickering. All that's been found was a gas can believed to have belonged to the 14-foot Boston Whaler replica police believe the boys stole, which washed up in Wilson, New York. But Ricketts had questions about even this. I just find it an impossible location unless the boys went out into the lake and up towards Toronto. I want to find out what the reality of that whole thing is. So what we are looking at here, and we will break this down to an individual video that focuses on this case, but what we are looking at here is 6 young men who allegedly spent the evening out partying. They stole a boat, a water tricycle. They go out onto Lake Ontario, which is a dangerous lake to be on anyway, let alone if you are impaired from alcohol, that sort of thing. So they go out on this boat and they never return. They never come back. The only piece of evidence that's found that could possibly be linked is a gas can that washed up in New York. This one, we're going to do everything we can to help these families find answers. This one it's not going to be easy. None of them are, but this one, when you have a lake that size and this took place that long ago, finding the right starting point is challenging. We are working on that, and we are going to do everything we can to help these families. And this is another one, as I said, we will be doing a solo video on this case in the coming days to kind of break it down with you guys. And then we're likely going to do a live feed on a Sunday night, an open discussion live feed, and have this discussion with all of you guys and see kind of what we come up with, where we end up being led to, basically, just based off of information. So, guys, let's keep these families in our prayers, and let's do everything we can to help bring answers to this family, and hopefully bring these young men back home. And the last one we're going to cover on this video today is Rico Harris. And this one may take me a minute going through the notes. I've got a lot of notes on here about the case itself. And this will be also broken down into a solo video as well. But Rico went missing October 10th, 2014 out of Yolo County, California. Rico was a basketball player. He played in college. He played for, I believe, a year for the Harlem Globetrotters. And different situations kept him from advancing, basically. And we'll break all of that down in the solo video. But he had a long distance relationship, and he was going to be moving to where she lived. He had already exchanged his California driver's license for a Washington State issued driver's license. He had arranged a job interview for a position as a property appraiser. This job meant a lot to him because it was the first time he held a skilled position that was unrelated to his athletic ability. But before he fully made this move, he wanted to visit his mom and brother one more time. Believes the intent was to talk with them, reach some closure from some difficult events from his childhood. His mom doesn't believe he got the answers that he was wanting. He calls his girlfriend on the phone on his drive back. And, Rico was upbeat, hoping to marry her, start a family with her, seemed to have his head together. He ended up calling her and telling her he was going to stop off in the mountains and rest. It had been a while since he had slept. At 11:15, he turned his phone off, and nobody has heard from him or positively identified him since. He ends up missing the job interview, and they realized something was wrong, so they contacted law enforcement. That the afternoon that they contacted law enforcement, which was October 14th, a Yolo County deputy sheriff patrolling along a stretch of California State Route 16 north of Rumsey saw a black Nissan Maxima in the county's parks lot for the second straight day. He looked inside. He saw CDs, credit cards, various papers scattered around. The vehicle was not reported stolen, so his superiors contacted the local police when they found who it was registered to, and the officers informed Rico's mom that the vehicle had been found, but not her son. They searched what basically breaks down to a 5-mile radius around the area of the vehicle. They did have several reported sightings of him. After one of these sightings, they did go back out and they found footprints that were consistent with his shoe size. And see if I could find his shoe size. He wore a big shoe. I want to say it was a size 14, but they never found him. They did find his backpack that had a lot of his belongings in it that, in all honesty, looks like he just set it out and left it for them to find. But multiple people have reported seeing him, but they were not able to confirm any of those. They did call in divers to search nearby sections of the creek that runs through that park, but they did not find anything. In 2016, the Investigation Discovery Channel series Disappeared devoted a segment to this particular case. Dean Nyland, the detective working the case for the sheriff's office, has ruled out the possibility of foul play in Rico's disappearance. The photos and video on Harris's phone suggest he came to Yolo County voluntarily and alone. No evidence of any kind of struggle was found in or near the car. His backpack and phone also do not show any signs that they were taken forcibly. Dean Nyland believes Harris may have left them where they were found himself, either accidentally or purposely, to avoid being tracked via the cell phone. So there is definitely more questions than answers in this particular case. Dan and I have already done quite a bit of work on this case. We do have some areas we feel need to be searched. And as we do the solo video on this case, we will be bringing out a lot more information that we do have. This particular case, Rico's aunt had emailed us and was asking for our assistance in this case, and we will be doing everything that we can to help bring Rico home. So guys, if you have any information on any of these cases, any locations you feel need to be searched, any thoughts, any theories, please get that sent over to us. And let me pull this back up real quick. Our email is mwsar22@yahoo.com. Our entire team has access to that email account to help us better monitor the emails that are coming in. 913-683-0147. That is my personal cell phone number. You can call me. You can text me. Again, I do work a full-time job Monday through Friday. So if I do not answer, please leave me a message and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to remain 100% anonymous, we do have a way you can do that. You can write the information and mail it to our P.O. Box at P.O. Box 93, Camden Point, Missouri, 64018. All of this information will be down in the video description. So guys, let's do everything we can to help bring these missing loved ones home.